Why one of or made for me item is better than ready-made item or off the rack items. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about why one of or made for me product is much better than off the rack item. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Have you ever wondered why some people, sometimes you see them and they look so good. They look so good and put together, like everything they're wearing just looks good to them, even though you can specifically define or identify exactly why is this person, what they wear? Why is it looking so good on them? They look posh, they look good, they look put together, they look neat, they look clean. So there are so many things. Yeah, it's because they had that item made for them. It was made specifically for them, which is completely different from just buying something that is off the rack, that is already made for the general public. It was made for everybody, just anybody. And you just went to the store and you just bought it. The general standard or general measurements for everybody. That's the difference. Made for me, specifically one of, made for me versus something that is off the rack. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about all the different ways that one of, made for me is way better than off the rack product or way better than ready-made product. One, made for me, one of is created for you with you in mind in the first place. You are the object of focus in made for me. You're the one they're making it for. They're not making it for everybody. They're making it for you. So the goal is to make it fit you. The goal is to make sure that it fits your specification. It fits your body size. It fits whatever thing that you're looking for, which is different from off the rack. Off the rack is that it's made for everybody. And you go there to find a way to make it fit you, to make it match you, to find a way to make it just suit what you're looking for it to suit. So that's the difference between both, that it is very unique to you. It fits your specification. You are the one that was put in mind in the first place. It's based on your body measurements or your requirements. And the goal is to overall make sure it meets the criteria of what you're looking for. That's the difference between that and off the rack. Off the rack doesn't have all this personal consideration. It's not personal. You're the one forcing yourself to make it fit you, not the product in itself made for you and it fitting you from the beginning. Another reason why one off or made for me is better than off the rack is that you are collaborating with the maker to bring value to life. Another reason is that you are collaborating with the maker to bring value. It's not just somebody creating some form of value and telling you this is what value is, or you should accept this value. Rather, you are collaborating with the maker to bring value. You are collaborating to bring a particular item to life. And a lot of it has to do with some things, some specifications, or some requirements that you would like to see in that item. All your interest is put into consideration. That's one of the reasons that make one of or made for me stand out even better than off the rack item. And if you have the product made for you, since you're collaborating with the maker in the first place, both of you are working together. If it doesn't work out or if it's not fitting exactly the way that you want it to fit, guess what? You can always call the maker. You can always go back to the maker and say, hey, this is what is going on. This is what is going on with this area. Can we get the fix? Can this, no, it did not meet the specification. Can you please revise this? So what's my point? It's a matter of a relationship, which is completely different from off the rack. Off the rack is you go to the store, spontaneous shopping, you buy it and it's done. It's done. Whether it fits you, whether it doesn't fit you, it doesn't matter. Whatever the case may be, who cares? So you return it. You don't like it. It doesn't work out for you. You don't return it. It's done. Now, that may be something that may serve some people's purpose, or that may be something that some people are interested in. The fact that they're not collaborating with anybody to bring it to life in the first place, or whatever the case may be. But I believe that's one of the reasons what makes one of or made for me stand out even better than off the rack. And I believe that's what contributes to why you would see somebody and you're like, oh, this looks good. You've seen some people looking good in what they're wearing, everything just fits well. All of it is of good, high caliber quality. It's because they had it made for them. Another reason why one-off or made for me is better than off the rack is because you kind of like decrease the chain of production. You know, that whole long line of chain like this, so many people in between buying, selling and buying, the person who makes and the person who's buying, that whole line and all those levels of kind of like crunch it down into a shorter version of just maker and seller or maker and buyer, you know? So it makes it more personable. It makes it more fulfilling and it makes it make more sense because as mentioned earlier, there's a relationship because you know who made something for you and you know who you bought it from. You know the quality of which this person or the integrity of which this person makes their things, this person that you bought from. One big thing that adds to that is as a craftsman, it actually brings an accountability to it. It brings an accountability to producing quality products. So an accountability to producing that has what you said is going to have in it. As a buyer, you know who made it. You know who makes this stuff. And as a seller who says, I want to sell you this particular product, this quality product, because there's no extra chain whereby people get lost who bought what from who. It brings the level of accountability that you as a craftsman have to produce quality product. And it also gives a level of credibility or a level of satisfaction to the buyer when they know that I know who I bought this product from. This particular person or this particular maker makes quality things. So that's who I bought it from, you know, and as a person, you also know that you are buying something that is of value, that is going to last you a long time. Now, that's something that is missing in off the rack. And because of that, there's no accountability to producing quality products. There's no integrity, you know, even when it's expensive, nobody cares. They sell it. It's already in the stores, in the market. You buy it. Whether you paid $1 million for it, or you paid $500,000 for it, or you paid $500 for it, or $100, whatever amount that you paid for it, if it doesn't serve that purpose, who cares? It's gone, you know? And in today's world of mass production, off the rack, everything being bought, especially clothing and shoes being bought off the rack, it removed that part of requiring people to that credibility, that integrity of producing quality products. It removed it from the picture. So whenever it's made, wherever it's made in, is made in masses, is sent to you as a buyer. They pump a lot of information out there as to why you should buy it and a lot of emotional manipulation on why it will be good for you. Then you buy it. Whether it serves a purpose or not of what they said it was going to serve, it doesn't matter anymore. They've collected your money and everybody's done. There's no integrity. There's no accountability. And because of that, the market are no longer accountable to actually make quality products. Everything is of lower subpar quality that yet the price for it did not go any lower. If anything, it got more expensive when you compare it to years ago when things were made with better quality materials and they lasted a long time. Now they don't even last. Whatever is just put in the market yet has a high price on it and you paid for it. So one-off or made for me, the reason why it's better than off-the-rack market or off-the-rack item is because it encourages integrity. It encourages quality, you know, making sure that what you're saying you're putting out there or what you're saying you're selling to somebody is really what you're selling. And even if it's not meeting up to par because the maker is not so far away from the customer or the person who bought it, there can be a communication there. There is a level of accountability and integrity that comes with the maker and the customer relationship. There's an unspoken criteria or responsibility to produce quality items. This is not a case of off the rack. There's a detachment, there's a disconnection, which gives room to just produce just whatever, to just make whatever, whereby even though it still costs money, there's no repercussion for anything. Just make whatever and it's done. That's it, and the customers have to bear the consequences for whatever it is that they bought. Even if feedback is left to that particular company or that brand, it's a different relationship. Say, for instance, you made it with a particular maker and you go back and leave a feedback, or you talk with the maker that this is what blah, blah, blah. Those are two different kind of relationships, right? There's no disconnection, there is no detachment. So that concludes what I believe makes made for me one of better than off the rack items. It's the reason why at the end of the day, the results are better. It's the reason why at the end of the day, you see somebody wearing something and all of it is put together is good. It fits the person in a way that you probably would not have thought of. You just know it looks good on that person. One, as mentioned, is because one of or made for me would always make sure that it puts that person as the object of focus. It puts that person as a main focus. It puts that person and the person's needs and the person's specifications, the person's interests as the focus. That's the reason why it would always matter when you see the end result between off the rack versus made for me item. And I hope you've enjoyed this video or this that we've talked about. Feel free to like it so it can get the words out there. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. And yes, you have a great day.